All right. What's up, y'all? This is Matt Sams with the Deep Ministry Project, and I'm just hopping on here real quick. Wanted to talk about something. So, just briefly, I don't plan on being on here for a long time, but I just wanted to start doing little quick tidbits that I want to call Sunday Eves. I am not just a teacher, I am also a preacher and an associate pastor. And for those who know what it's like to preach and have to do this consistently every Sunday, to you gentlemen, to you men of God, I take my hat off to y'all. And I know how grueling the task is for those that really try to execute and dedicate themselves to rightly handling the word of God, and also to those who take pride in expository preaching, meaning they dedicate their time, their thought process, their thinking, their days, their hours, their moments to studying the word of God, praying, researching, trying to make sure that they get words right in the Greek or in the Hebrew, and that way when they stand in their pulpit come Sunday morning, not only are they totally dependent on God, thanking Him for what they have shared together throughout the week, but also, they can stand up there knowing that they have truly given this their all. And that doesn't always guarantee that your sermon is going to be knocked out of the park. There are times when you do everything that God requires you to do. I mean, you put in the work, you put in the time, you put in the study, and you put in the prayer, and sometimes you just fall flat, and sometimes we hit a home run. But knowing that, we have dedicated our time, everything to this. Um, and I said this a long time ago when I started preaching, that a preacher does not have Saturday nights. We have Sunday eves. On Saturday, we're beginning to get into the mindset of Sunday morning worship, but also the delivery of the word of God to God's people. So many of you out there, I do know some preachers who can begin on maybe Tuesday and they be done with a manuscript come Friday. And Saturday they resting, and they just rehearsing and they ready to go come Sunday morning. And they have really honed in the skills of their craft. They've been doing it for so long, it just comes naturally. I'm not one of those preachers. And if you're watching this little short video, you're not one of those preachers neither. I have to start from Sunday to Sunday, or Monday to Sunday at most. This is how my week normally goes, and I know that I have to preach. When I'm called on to preach for the next week, hopefully I'm given a heads up that Sunday. By Monday, I want to have a passage, and it's not just picking some random passage, a hobby horse, something that I want to preach. I am profiling my church, where we're at, what is most needed, what needs to be addressed. So that, and lots of prayer for God to guide me in that aspect is how I pick a passage. So Monday is the passage, and then I'm doing observations. I'm straight Bible study methods, something that I was taught by my professor, Dr. Franz Brown Jr., tools that I have, and I never got away from them. And observation as one of the most important, if not the most important one. So much is missed when we don't slow down and read the text. So Monday, that's straight observations. By Tuesday, I want to have exegetical outline done, meaning I've done my word study, I've done my background study, I've consulted, uh, biblical sources. I've read background commentaries, customs, and manners. That way I can know what's going on in the text. I have looked at some of my biblical encyclopedias. I'm doing my homework about the book. I'm doing my homework about this passage. I'm doing my homework about the characters of what God is doing or what he's doing through a particular individual. By Wednesday, I'm doing my theological outline, hopefully. And once I get that out the way, the theological outline is what all Christians should know. What should all Christians come away with from this passage? And then once I'm done with the theological outline, by Thursday, I want to have my preaching outline done, meaning I want to have a skeleton. I want to at least have my big idea. I want to have my points sharp. I want to have my sub points in there. I also want to aim to have illustrations that I may use or transitions in there. And sometimes these things don't come, on Thursday night simply because I want them to come, because it's scheduled for me to have them on Thursday nights. I could be going all the way into Saturday and still trying to find the title of my sermon, the points, the sub points, making sure everything flows, making sure that I'm using illustrations, not just to entertain the crowd or throw something in there, but that it actually lines up. There have been times where in beginning preaching, I had illustrations before I had a sermon. And then once I studied the passage, this illustration just don't fit. And I'm not forcing anything with the word of God. So, which brings me to Saturday night, or what I like to entitle Sunday Eve. Many of my brothers out there, I know that you love the word of God, and some of you may be discouraged, like, man, I shouldn't be up late. I should have this stuff down packed. And you put in the work, you put in the time, you put in the effort, and you still grinding. Come Saturday night, all the way up to early Sunday morning, you steady touching this sermon. Where I'm at right now, this is my Sunday Eve, Saturday night, uh, handwritten manuscript. I still have to type up, and I right now in my sermon, I'm preaching Acts chapter 16, verses 6 through 10. So I have 2.5 of my points already manuscript, and I still have to write out my third point. Something I learned from H.B. Charles, which has always stuck in my mind, was, you need to write yourself clear. So I do not get in the pulpit without having written out my manuscript. I may not get up there with the manuscript, but I'm going to at least write it out. I'm going to know that I have thought this through. I have written it down, and that is what I'm going to preach. And I just wanted to take a quick break from me really going through this sermon, writing it all out. Um right now it's 12:14 in the morning. So, I will be preaching at 10:30. Um and I'll get a couple hours of sleep, but I'm not too much worried about it. On Sunday eves, it's real difficult to sleep anyway. So I know you're supposed to get your rest. But I just wanted to take that time to just encourage y'all, man. If y'all are in the trenches and y'all are working hard, you're chipping away, you preaching, you teaching. Some of y'all like me, y'all work full time. You're not a full-time minister. You have a job, you have a family, you have a position that you need to fill, not only at work, at home, but you have a ministry as well that you need to fulfill. And God has called you to preach the word and to be ready to preach the word. and to, you give everything that you have when you're doing something for God. So don't be discouraged. I just want you to know tonight, if you leave with anything, that you're not alone. Is many of us, many brothers around the world, or in the United States, we all up on this Saturday night, going into early Sunday morning. We're with you. We are still touching our points. We are still sharpening up our manuscript. We are still chipping away at what we're doing with this text. You know, we still had to juggle family. We still had to juggle work. We still, some of us are still in the commentary, still in the books. Not the brothers that are lazy and waited till Saturday or Friday to get started on this sermon. You've been doing your due diligence all this week. Not only do I commend you, but I am with you. I want you to know that you're not alone. As many of us out here. Stay encouraged, keep going, keep grinding. This is our Sunday Eve. This is our first session. You brothers, y'all take care. I got to get off of here. I wanted to break away from my sermon for a moment, my passage for a moment that I've been working on, and just come and talk to y'all, hopefully, and encourage y'all. But now I got to get back. Like I said, I'm 2.5 points in. I still got to finish my second point and go into my third one in the closing. So, peace, my brothers. Godspeed to all of y'all. And this is Matt Sams. I'm signing off.